My biggest insecurity growing up was my weight and my looks. I was truly ashamed of the way that I looked. And since you clicked on this video, I know that you can relate as well. I remember a couple of years ago being on vacation with my friends, and we were just chilling at the beach and everybody was shirtless, obviously, except for me. I would literally sit there in the sun with my shirt on, being fucking sweaty and everything, saying, "Oh guys, I just don't want to get sunburned, so I'm not gonna take my shirt off. And maybe I'll take my shirt off when I go in the water." I also had a black shirt on because I heard it makes you look slimmer, which made it even worse to be out in the sun. I literally felt like an NPC side character, just fucking sitting there doing the shirt pull. You know what I'm talking about, the shirt pull. But today, after losing more than 50 pounds of fat in less than a year, I became so confident that I can literally walk around the city shirtless, and I do it from time to time just because it's fun, because I'm proud of my physique. And literally just the other day I was at a concert and I took my shirt off because you know how it is at the concerts, you fucking you go wild. And I swear to God, like 3 or 4 girls separately came up to me to compliment my muscles. That's something I couldn't even think of like 2 years ago. I now truly feel like the main character. If you relate to the first story at all, then you came to the right place. In this video I will teach you step by step how I lost more than 50 pounds of fat in less than a year. And I'll walk you through autistic level detail on how to set up a fat loss phase properly. I'll also try my best to help you with hunger and cravings, and I'll teach you to control your hunger to make the fat loss phase absolutely effortless. Let's begin. So I probably don't have to explain to you that lean is law. If you want to be aesthetic, you need to be lean. Every single aesthetic anime physique out there that you've ever seen, every single good looking guy, what every single one of them have in common is that they're lean, they're at a low body fat percentage. And the way that we're actually going to lose the fat is actually extremely simple. It's not easy, but it is extremely simple. You've all heard of the concept of a calorie deficit, calories in versus calories out. All of fat loss is built upon this one concept. Every single diet that you ever heard of, the only way to actually lose body fat, to actually change your body composition, is to be in a calorie deficit, is to consume less energy than you use throughout the day. This is the super important basic, and now that we're all on the same page, let's get to the actual tactics. So to properly know if we're in a calorie deficit or not, and to actually put ourselves in the correct calorie deficit, we need to be tracking our nutrition, also known as counting calories. Tracking calories and working with data is literally the most effective way to achieve your goals. If you try to lose fat without tracking your data, without like knowing how much food you're actually consuming on a daily basis, it's literally going to be maybe like 10% or 5% as effective as if you just put some time into tracking food, into learning that as a skill. Honestly, it's super easy. It doesn't take that much time at all. When I was starting out, I probably learned the whole skill of like tracking food in maybe less than a week. So tracking is king, and we want to be working with data and not assumptions. The big mindset shift that I want you to go through is I want you to treat food like your bank account. It's actually a very good analogy. It's like all a numbers game, literally just math. Imagine you're saving up for a car and let's say it costs like 40 grand, right? So your goal is to get to $40,000 in your bank account. And what's the way that you're going to achieve that? Well, you're probably going to be trying to increase the amount of money that came in each month while decreasing the amount of money that came out. You know, maybe you make like 3 grand a month, and for you to save up for the car, you'll need to spend less than 3 grand. Or you can spend 3 grand, but then you'll need to try to make more, make 4 grand a month, 5 grand a month. And do you see the correlation with calories here? This is literally just numbers, and that is why I find the whole eating disorder accusations so funny to all the people who track our nutrition. Like, would you say to somebody who's looking after their finances and like trying to save up for a house or something, looking at their bank account, would you say that they have a financial disorder? Like, dude. So tracking calories and calories in versus calories out is literally exactly the same like working with your finances. If you don't want to go broke, and if you don't want to be a fat ass, you just need to look at the data, make some adjustments, and know your actual numbers. So I hope that you're now convinced how important tracking is. And for the actual autistic level steps on how to actually start tracking your calories, the first step is go to tdeecalculator.net, input all of your body parameters like your height and your weight, and calculate your maintenance calories. That is an estimate of how much calories you burn just by existing throughout the day. It's also based on activity level, which I will recommend that you underestimate a little bit. And that is the number that you're going to be working with, the monthly salary, And just like your salary, it can change depending on what you're doing. If you're doing more cardio, then the number is going to increase, which means that you technically can spend a little bit more, or in our case, eat a little bit more. Or you can leave it as is, don't, increase the amount of time you work, don't increase the amount of cardio, the amount of activity, and just spend less money, eat less. In both cases, you're going to be saving money, so you're going to be in a calorie deficit. You're going to be, consuming less calories than you use throughout the day, which is going to lead to fat loss. And I'm actually going to tell you which is better. Is it better to do more cardio or eat less calories later on in the video? Now the question is, how much food do you need to be eating on a daily basis? How much of a deficit do you need to go into? Well, there are two camps when it comes to the size of the calorie deficit. There's the aggressive deficit crowd and there's the slow sustainable deficit crowd. And there's only one correct answer. I think the people that promote the aggressive deficit are completely wrong. And that's not because an aggressive deficit inherently doesn't work. It's just worse than a slow sustainable deficit on every single parameter, especially for beginners. The problem with an aggressive deficit is that beginners still haven't figured out how to even like track their food, how their body works, how their body responses to different deficits. And to promote an aggressive deficit to beginners is just gonna create unsustainable, weird fucking habits. And remember that our goal is to maintain an aesthetic physique for as long as possible, year round. And if you're gonna learn to diet aggressively, what it's gonna lead to is just yo-yo dieting. Like you're gonna lose 20 pounds with an aggressive deficit, but then you're gonna be so hungry and you're gonna be so fucked up in the head that you're just gonna gain all of the weight back right away. So we're not doing an aggressive deficit, we are doing a slow sustainable deficit. A slow sustainable deficit is around 300 to 500 calories below your maintenance. Remember the number that we calculated? That is the much better approach, especially for beginners, because that is going to allow us to build a system that is sustainable long term and that we can basically show up and be consistent with for years and years and years, compared to an aggressive deficit which you can barely sustain for maybe a couple of weeks or maybe a month. So no aggressive deficit. Now the question that I get asked a lot is how to deal with hunger. And for that we need to understand that there are, first of all, two types of hunger. You have your physical, physiological, like actual hunger, your body telling you that it needs nutrients, and there's psychological, mental sort of hunger. My guess is that most of you are not starving and you don't have problems with physical hunger. Your biggest problem and your biggest vice is the mental hunger. I honestly constantly, even to this day, whenever I eat, I would just eat and eat and eat, and at some point I know I'm full. Like I physically feel full, but I don't feel satisfied yet. Like my body is still craving more food and more food and more food, and then I go into the pantry and I open the pack of Oreos, and you know what happens after. So the biggest problem that we need to address, and the reason that you got fat in the first place, is the fact that food is your vice. Food is an addiction and you need to treat it like it. Food is probably one of the most addictive activities out there for a lot of people, and that is the reason you got fat in the first place, is because you like food so much that you just keep eating and keep eating and keep eating and keep eating. And I really want you to think back on why you kept eating, or why you maybe were craving foods at certain points. Because for a lot of you, it's gonna be that you wanted to cope with stress, that you wanted to just feel good, because food is pleasurable and you use food as a pleasure source, as a cheap dopamine source, which is obviously wrong. Like you need to use food for fuel, but I know that you can't really do anything about it. That's just the way that our bodies are wired. Not all of us. There are some naturally skinny people who barely eat anything because their hormones and their body is not all fucked up, and like it goes honestly very deep. Like I think most of this hunger, most of this addiction to food comes from mental health issues, and that is the first thing that you need to fix if you really want to fix the food cravings and the hunger, is you need to regulate your nervous system, because that is the way that you cope with stress. The moment you're stressed and the moment you're feeling anxious or something like that, the first thing you go to is food, and that is your comfort place. And I know it might be hard to get rid of that comfort, but I want you to try your best to replace food as a source of dopamine with something more meaningful, because food is still an instant gratification activity, and remember that we want to delay gratification as much as possible, because the delayed gratification activities is what brings us true high amounts of pleasure and what is actually going to be more beneficial to us in the long run. Think about it, like going to the gym is not going to give you a lot of instant gratification, it's not going to make you feel good in the moment, but in a couple of months, in a couple of years, when you've built your dream physique, you're going to feel a billion times better than any fucking crumble cookie can ever make you feel in the moment. And understand that the reason why cutting and being in a deficit is so hard for you is because food is your vice, food is your addiction, and you need to treat it like an addiction. Try your best to replace it with a more meaningful source of dopamine. Go out with friends, go connect with people, be social. Don't be bored. Like being bored is such a huge prerequisite for hunger, for me at least. Like I'm hungry when I'm bored. And that's why for people like us, a lot of the times the tactics of eating higher volume foods and eating more satiating foods doesn't really work, because our bodies and our hormones are so fucked up. And the reason that we're hungry is not because our body is hungry, you know? It's not that we're just eating ultra processed like sugary junk and you know it doesn't fix our hunger. No, we are just looking for mental stimulation. We're just looking for pleasure. And another, like, probably the best way to fix it is level up your whole life. Make sure that you don't even need this addiction. You don't even need this cheap source of instant gratification. Because when you eat food or when you participate in other like instantly gratifying dopaminergic activities, like maybe, I don't know, smoking weed or like drinking alcohol, it temporarily brings your level of life satisfaction to maybe like a 7 out of 10, right? So obviously if your normal life satisfaction is at around like 3 or 4 out of 10, of course you're gonna crave the even temporary hit of a 7 out of 10 or maybe like an 8 out of 10 life. But then the thing is, not only does your dopamine crash afterwards and you crash even lower than your normal life satisfaction level, so you go through a 2 out of 10 life for a little bit, but also your life just kind of stays the same. So the solution is, if you were to constantly be at an 8 out of 10, at a 9 out of 10 enjoyment of life, if you were just constantly having fun, you were being social with friends, you were achieving success in your business, in your fitness, would you really be craving a temporary 7 out of 10 hit? Like, if you level up your life enough, it would literally just be a downgrade for you. So the best solution to any addiction is to just level up in all areas of life, improve yourself, become the main character. That is actually the reason why I created my community, the main character path, to help young men level up, but I'm gonna tell you more about it at the end of the video. Now that we understand that food is actually your vice, your addiction, and we know the best ways to treat hunger, the best ways to cope with hunger and with cravings, and let's come to the question, what's the best way to achieve the deficit? So I used to think that cardio is not really the best thing when it comes to fat loss. Like, you can totally lose fat without cardio. You can just lower the amount of food that you eat. But after thinking about it for longer, I've realized that since us guys who struggle with food cravings and food noise, and for you, since food is your vice, lowering the amount of food will actually make the fat loss phase disproportionately harder than if you were to just increase your activity level. And the thing is, if you increase your activity level, it's just gonna be like more fun. Like, you're gonna have more stuff to do throughout the day and you'll have less time to even think about food. And since we're going for a slow, sustainable approach, sustainable is the key word. We want to be consistent in our fat loss. We don't just want to make super fast progress and then drop back down and then make super fast progress and drop back down again. No, we want to be sustainable. Make slow progress, consistent progress, do it forever, for a long time. And the way to stick to a habit, the way to make something sustainable is to make it fun. Like, if being in the deficit is easy, then you're gonna be in a deficit. And that is the thing that we need to learn. Do what you actually want to do and like eat what you actually want to eat. I know it sounds weird and I don't really relate to that much, but if you don't like eating healthy food too much, or if it's hard for you to sustain, if it's hard for you to cook, obviously it's going to be better if you do, but you can allow yourself to just not. Maybe have a sweet treat every single day, like allocate 100 or 200 calories every single day to getting a sweet treat. I know it sounds weird as fucking, like, are you a child that you need a sweet treat? But if that is what makes the deficit enjoyable for you, if that's what makes it fun, then go ahead and do it. I don't really relate to that too much because yes, I do like my sweet treats, but I also really enjoy healthy food. Like, at this point, I don't even crave junk food because I just find it fucking disgusting. I would rather eat like steak and eggs, but the problem is I am so hungry constantly, not even on my deficit, like 24/7, that I can easily overeat on healthy food. There was one day when I ate 15 eggs and 3 steaks in one day, and safe to say I was not in a deficit that day. So junk food isn't really a big problem for me. It's just like, I love clean food and I love like healthy whole foods. It's just that I can eat so much of them and I'm so hungry that like even eating a clean diet, like, you know, I have to restrict myself a lot. But anyway, the idea is that you want to make the deficit fun and you want to eat the foods that you actually enjoy. If food is your pleasure source, right? Yes, we want to try to minimize the, you know, pleasure that we get from food, and like we want to minimize using food as a pleasure source and as a gratification source. But if you do, like, you might as well enjoy it. And the next thing is the question of whether you want to increase your activity or decrease your calories. Since we are struggling with hunger and with food a lot, the realization that I came to pretty recently is that honestly you should increase your activity level. You should increase the amount of cardio that you do, because for guys like us who really struggle with hunger, it's going to be extremely difficult to lower your calories further and further and further. Like, at some point you're going to hit a point where it's just like impossible for you to eat. And even like at a moderate deficit, if your activity level is low, it's not gonna be enough food for you and you're just gonna feel miserable. And you're probably gonna overeat because you feel hungry and you're just gonna succumb to the hunger. So the solution is increase your activity. Go do 10,000, 15 fucking thousand steps a day. 10,000 steps a day will take you maybe like an hour or an hour and a half of deliberate walking every single day, which might sound like a lot, but honestly, fuck else are you going to be doing throughout the day? If anything, is just going to fill up your day so you're not as bored and you're less likely to overeat because of boredom. Also, doing cardio is obviously extremely fucking healthy, like for your heart, for everything. And one of the reasons you want to get in shape is also to be more healthy. And cardiovascular fitness is extremely important. So 3 or 4 times a week, go on a run, go on a cardio bike, go do like rowing or something like that. Go just bike around the city or something. Because that way you're actually going to be able to eat more food throughout the day. You're gonna have more stuff to do, and like if you're like me, you probably are even gonna enjoy the work, the cardio, because guys like us who are ready to improve themselves, who are ready to go into fitness, we're just gonna enjoy this fitness, right? So that is, I think, the correct answer. I might change my mind later, since I've been really struggling with food and overeating as of recently after I've ended my cut. I think I've gained 8 or 9 pounds in a month since exiting my cut, which is yeah, not ideal. And I've been really struggling with hunger and with cravings, so I'm now looking for solutions to go on a deficit while eating more food. And I think cardio is actually fucking goated, and the fact that I was not recommending cardio before is completely wrong, and I am changing my mind because I'm improving constantly. So let's get through everything once again. Losing fat is actually pretty simple. You just want to go into a calorie deficit. For that, first step is going to go to TDE calculator, figure out your maintenance. That is going to be the number you're going to be working with, and treat your calories, treat your nutrition like you would your bank account. Like if you're not a retard, you're going to be looking at the numbers and you're going to be seeing, oh, how much money came in every month, how much money went out every month, and how am I going to be able to save? Like where am I going to be able to save some calories? It's exactly the same. It's just a numbers game. It's working with data. If you're autistic like me, it's going to be fun for you, if anything. Now you want to go into a slow, sustainable 300 to 500 calorie deficit every single day. It's a range because some days you're going to fuck up or you cannot really track your nutrition exact, like calorie to calorie. It's all honestly like an estimation. If you're going to be 90% accurate, the 200 calorie difference is going to be a buffer for you. Just try your best to go into as much of a deficit as you can sustain for a long time, which I have found in practice is probably going to be around 500 calories. And I have a whole video on my channel about how to track your food, so you should really go check it out. There I explain in autistic level detail how to like properly scan labels and shit, how to input everything into the app. And the app that I recommend personally is Chronometer. Super free, super good. And the understanding that you have to come to when it comes to actually losing fat, actually being sustainable, is that you want to make the deficit fun. That way you're going to be able to sustain it for a long time. Do more cardio so that you can eat more food and you're not as restricted and you're not going to feel like shit. Allow yourself to eat fun foods. Allow yourself to eat foods that you actually enjoy, and something, again, that you're going to be able to stick to consistently for a long time. And understand that you are probably hungry because your mental health is all fucked up and you use food as an instant gratification source, and that is just like an addiction to you, a vice. So really, I have a bunch of videos on my channel where I talk about this topic. I try my best to teach you to deal with this addiction. Just you need to come to that understanding and try to work with it and try to fix it. Best way is just to fix your life, level up your mental health, and replace the dopaminergic instant gratification activity with something more meaningful. And if you want to get even more detail on how to actually lose fat, like where I walk you step by step, like what app to download, how to properly track your food and everything, and how to build the main character body that I keep talking about, how to look and feel like your favorite anime character, I really recommend that you check out the main character path. It's the first link in the description, and it's a community that I built specifically for autists and nerds like me who want to build an aesthetic, good looking body, who want to feel good, who want to look good. And inside there's a course called the main character body course, where I teach you step by step through mindset, training, nutrition, everything that you need to know about building an aesthetic body that I've been able to build. Also, there's going to be a lot more stuff coming, such as discipline, mindset, and even more advanced tactics of fat loss and of training. It's just a one-time purchase, but I really recommend that you check it out. Like, it's so worth it. Literally, the stuff that I have in there, I used to sell for hundreds of dollars, and I used to only give to my clients, but now I'm sharing it with you for like a very small price. So again, first link in the description, go check it out. Love you. Stay strong, stay skinny. Lean is law. Cheers.